HDMI, audio jack, Ethernet, USB. Every computer has ports, but unless you know what each one does, they're just mysterious holes on the side of your machine. So why are there so many? And what does each one actually do? Let's begin with one that's probably connected to the biggest screen in your house, HDMI. HDMI was designed for one main purpose, sending both video and audio through a single cable. Whether you're connecting your computer to a television, a projector, or another monitor, there's a good chance you're using HDMI. Before HDMI, video and sound often required separate connections. HDMI made everything much simpler. One cable, one connection. Picture and sound together. As display technology improved, HDMI improved too, supporting higher resolutions, better image quality, higher frame rates. And today, it's one of the most common ports you'll find on computers and televisions. But HDMI isn't the only display connector. If you've ever looked at the back of a gaming monitor or a desktop graphics card, you've probably noticed another port that looks surprisingly similar: DisplayPort. At first, it's easy to mistake it for HDMI. Both connect displays, both carry digital video, both can also carry audio. So why have two different ports that seem to do the same thing? The answer is simple. DisplayPort was designed primarily for computers, especially gaming computers, professional workstations, and high-performance monitors. It often supports higher refresh rates, greater bandwidth, and advanced display features that gamers and professionals appreciate. That's why many desktop graphics cards include both HDMI and DisplayPort. If you're connecting to a television, HDMI is usually the standard. If you're connecting to a gaming monitor, DisplayPort is often the preferred choice. Neither one replaces the other. They simply serve different situations. But displaying a picture isn't the only thing a computer needs to do. Sometimes it needs to communicate with the internet. That's where Ethernet comes in. If you've ever wanted the fastest and most reliable internet connection, this is the port you're looking for. Unlike Wi-Fi, Ethernet uses a physical cable to connect your computer directly to a router or network switch. That wired connection makes it more stable, more consistent, and usually faster. That's why you'll still find Ethernet ports in offices, gaming setups, schools, and servers around the world. Whenever speed and reliability matter, Ethernet is often the better choice. Now, here's the one almost everyone knows: USB-A. This is the classic rectangular USB port. You'll find it on desktop computers, older laptops, gaming consoles, televisions, and even some cars. It's mainly used for connecting everyday devices like a mouse, a keyboard, a printer, a flash drive, an external hard drive, or even charging certain devices. What made USB-A so successful wasn't its shape, it was its flexibility. Before USB became common, many devices required their own unique connectors. Connecting a printer wasn't the same as connecting a camera, or a keyboard, or a scanner. USB simplified all of that. Instead of learning different cables for different devices, one connector could handle almost everything. That's why USB became known as the universal serial bus. But as computers became thinner, faster, and more powerful, USB also needed to evolve. That's where USB-C comes in. USB-C doesn't seem very different. It's simply smaller, more compact, and unlike USB-A, it works whichever way you plug it in. No more flipping the cable 3 times before it fits. But the real improvement isn't its shape, it's what it can do. USB-C can transfer data, deliver power, charge laptops, connect external monitors, run docking stations, and connect high-speed storage, all through the same connector. That's why many modern laptops now rely almost entirely on USB-C. Instead of having separate ports for different tasks, one connector can perform several of them. But here's something many people don't realize. Not every USB-C port is identical. 2 laptops may both have USB-C ports, yet one may only support charging and file transfers. Another may also connect multiple monitors. But what's happening behind the connector can be completely different. And that's where Thunderbolt comes in. It looks exactly like USB-C. In fact, many people assume they're the same thing, but they're not. Think of USB-C as the shape of the connector. Thunderbolt is the technology running through that connector. A Thunderbolt port can transfer huge amounts of data extremely quickly. Connect multiple monitors, power external storage, or even connect an external graphics card. It's designed for people who move large files, edit high-resolution videos, or need maximum performance. So although every Thunderbolt port uses a USB-C connector, not every USB-C port supports Thunderbolt. They may look identical, but their capabilities can be very different. So always check your computer's specifications. Now let's switch from the USB to sound. This small circular connector is the 3.5mm audio jack. It's one of the oldest ports that's still widely used today. Its job is simple. It sends and receives audio. Plug in a pair of headphones, and you can hear sound. Connect a microphone, and your computer can record your voice. Some devices even use the same jack for both headphones and microphones. Although wireless earbuds have become increasingly popular, the audio jack is still valued because it's simple. It works instantly. No batteries, no pairing. Just plug it in. Now let's look at two ports you might not see very often anymore: VGA and DVI. If you've used older computers, you've probably seen them before. VGA is easy to recognize. It's usually blue, and it has rows of tiny metal pins. For many years, it was the standard way to connect computers to monitors and projectors. But VGA sends an analog video signal. As displays became sharper, digital connections produced much better image quality. That's why VGA gradually disappeared from newer computers. DVI came next. Its goal was to improve display quality by using digital signals instead of analog ones. Compared to VGA, images looked much sharper, especially on LCD monitors. For years, DVI became a common sight on desktop computers. But eventually, HDMI and DisplayPort became more practical. They supported newer display technologies, used fewer cables, and offered more features. So today, both VGA and DVI are becoming increasingly rare. If you compare an older computer with a modern one, you'll notice something interesting. Older computers often had many different ports. Newer computers usually have fewer. That isn't because computers can do less. It's because modern ports can do much more. USB-C can combine jobs that once required several different connectors. Technology is moving toward fewer ports with greater capabilities, and that trend will likely continue. So the next time you look at the side of a computer, those ports won't just look like random holes anymore. You'll recognize what they are. And more importantly, you'll know what each one was designed to do.